Namaste and a very warm welcome to all of you in this closing ceremony after 2 days compact schedules of presentations and discussions. I have the honor of being your host for this evening. My name is Rajan Kesi and I am a geotechnical engineer serving as treasurer of Nepal Geotechnical Society and secretary for this GeoMandu 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to announce that our chief guest, Minister for Home Affairs, Honorable Ramesh Lekhak, is with us today. We are very much delighted to have him with us, and we extend him our warmest welcome. We deeply appreciate his gracious presence. In this program, we have our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Mark Balaus, the president of the International Society for Soil Mechanics and Geotechnical Engineering. Professor Dr. Kejian Sao, the vice president of Asia for ISS MGE. Dr. Anil Joseph, the president of Indian Geotechnical Society. Engineer Sohail Kibriya, Vice President of Pakistan Geotechnical Society. Dr. Gangalal Tuladhar, former minister and our honorary member. Dr. Alex Baumgard, Principal Engineer at VGC Engineering in Canada. Professor Iko Tuata, former Vice President of ISS MGE. Engineer Kesab Kumar Sarma, Secretary of MOPIT, Government of Nepal. Engineer Anil Pokhrel, CEO, NDRRMA. Professor Nilima Satyam and also a delegate from Pakistan are also here as guest of honor. Joining us, the dignitaries and esteemed guests, we have Professor Dr. Netra Prakash Bhandari, the conferencier, and professor of Ehime University, Japan. We also have Dr. Mandeep Subedi, the president of the Nepal Geotechnical Society and the convener of GeoMandu 2024. In this closing ceremony, we also have the secretaries of the government of Nepal, the director generals from various departments of the government, presidents and representatives from various societies and organizations of Nepal, our sponsors and partners who help to make this event happen. I would also like to welcome all the participants of this program today. Please take your seats and make yourselves comfortable for the program ahead. Now, to move on, first and foremost, may I request Dr. Mandeep Subedi, the president of Nepal Geotechnical Society and convener of the conference, to kindly come up on the stage and deliver a welcome speech.
Minister for Home Affairs, Honorable Mr. Ramesh Lekhak, ISSMG President, Dr. Mark Balaus, ISSMG Vice President, Professor Kejian Sao, distinguished delegates, keynote speakers, esteemed participants, Namaste and good evening. It's my great honor and a privilege to welcome you all to the closing program of GeoMandu 2024. We are truly grateful for all your enthusiasm, commitment, and contribution that have truly made this international conference a grand success. GeoMandu 2024 kicked off with exciting pre-conference activities, including a Geotechnical Model Competition targeting 12 college teams and 3-day workshop supported by BGC Engineering Canada, which explored advanced geotechnical practice with 60 participants. These initiatives reflect our commitment to encouraging the next generation with advancing professional development. With over 430 participants from 23 countries, this conference has truly been a global gathering. The technical sessions, keynote speeches, and poster presentation have fostered the exchange of cutting-edge research, innovative ideas, and collaborative solutions. We have made it sure that GeoMandu has once again been a key platform for advancing geotechnical engineering and sustainable infrastructure. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to ISSMG officials for their tremendous support. I am truly indebted to ISSMG President Dr. Mark Ballows, the Vice President Professor Shaw, IGS President Dr. Anil, and the South Asian National Societies. The theme of this conference, Geotechnical for Sustainable Infrastructure, hold special relevance for Nepal, a country that faces significant natural hazards. With the presence of our chief guest, Honorable Minister Ramesh Lekhak, whose ministry plays a crucial role in the disaster management, I am hopeful that the discussions we have had will contribute meaningfully to nation and regional strategies for resilience and sustainable development. Once again, welcome to the closing program, GeoMandu 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mandip Subedi, for your welcome speech. As we reflect on this incredible journey of GeoMandu 2024, so far we are excited to share a short and rapidly made highlights video showcasing the key moments from day one activities of GeoMandu 2024.
Actually, it is the tallest reinforced structure in Nepal. The design height of this structure is 45 meters. Phase 1 already constructed, 25 meters.
Thank you. Can you please put up the light up here? The hotel team, yeah, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, now is the time that I take the opportunity to invite Dr. Alex Baumgard, the Principal Engineer of VGC Engineering Inc., Canada, to share his remarks on importance of multi-sectoral collaboration.
Thank you. Is this mic working? Yes? Good. Honorable Minister, you probably don't need to do this, but if you indulge me and all the participants, if I could get you please stand up. Everybody stand up, please. Have a look around. And now notice anybody sleeping? No? Okay. Sit back down again. I'm not going to give a technical talk. I'm going to give a talk on the concept of collaboration. You've come to the conference. You've already been collaborating. Maybe you come to a conference once, twice in your career. Maybe you go 4 or 5 times every year. Maybe that's part of your role. We all collaborate at different speeds, but we can all collaborate more. So I'm going to look and talk through a little bit of a journey How do we learn to collaborate? When does it go wrong? How do we improve it again? Maybe you're young enough and you can remember these good times. Maybe you've got children. Maybe you've got nephews, nieces. And essentially, we all have this collaboration instinct. It is ingrained in us by our families, by our parents. We should be kind. We should be sharing. We should cooperate. There's no pushing the other children out of the sandbox. We work together. But they get a little older. Maybe you get a little older. Maybe you're still in this mode. You start to get some independence. You have a desire to stand out. You no longer want to be that little child. Your groups become friends or foe. When you were little, you spend 5 minutes with another child, they're your best friend. Now, they say one wrong thing and they are your worst enemy. I've had my children go through this stage. You build little tribes. So you're starting to collaborate, but you're also starting to not collaborate. And then we get to teenagers. This is when collaboration starts to shut down. We want to be individuals. We want to be able to showcase our talents. We're in school, and school has its own pressures. It says, you must be the best. You're using that as a stepping stone to university. So now we don't want to talk to other people. We don't want to give answers. We want to stand out as number one. But things aren't always bad. We go off to undergraduates. We start to work together again. You have study groups, group projects, times where you need to communicate and work together. Undergraduate also doesn't have the same competition because the grade you get doesn't matter to the grade another person gets. It's all about your own competition with yourself, not with each other. But you become a graduate student, and this is when things can start to go wrong. You're now focused on an individual thesis or research project typically. Your topics follow what your professors are doing. You're aligned with their interests. This is the key moment that we need to start to watch for the lack of collaboration. It can be good, you can get some, or you can go bad and lose it. So why? Why do we have collaboration stop in academia? For a number of reasons. Our professors have this natural need to publish or perish. They have to be shown to be making progress. That's how they gain tenure. And that's pushed on the young professors as well. Do what you can, step on each other, become first. Those optics are also negative where you can't even talk to other departments or other universities and institutions. We are finding lots of times now where professors won't talk to each other. And that's shadowed in their graduate students. But maybe you're not in academia, you're in industry. Could be the public sector, you could be working for a government, could be a private consultant. These are still the things that are going to happen. Previous one, Albert Einstein, no need to explain. This is Thomas Edison. He was known to have taken a lot of ideas himself. He maybe not developed all of them, he may have improved on them, but he was not a good collaborator. Why? Sometimes you have problems with funding or silos. Your department has funding, they don't. You can't share your money. Everything is kept together. Sometimes it's a belief that your problems are just so unique, nobody else possibly could have the same ones. So why bother collaborating? Sometimes it's the competition in the industry to showcase, to be recognized, to be, I'm the one that's doing right to your superiors to get advancement. And sometimes by the people who are in charge, it's empire building. The act of, I don't want my people helping others because I want to be in charge of everything. This all goes against collaboration. So how do we restore it with geotechnical research and in industry that's associated with geotech or geohouses? We need to prevent repeat research. That's one thing I've noticed. I do a lot of lectures around the world to different universities. I do a lot of them in Canada. And I went to these 3 universities. And when I go, I give some lectures to the undergrads, I give some lectures to the graduate students, but I stay the whole day. And so I get shown around usually to the projects that the grad students are working on, and I sit with them. And I noticed the same project at 3 different universities. A little bit of change here, a little bit of change there, but at the base level, it's the same project. And then I look around, and international universities outside of Canada are also all doing the same projects. So we're not advancing as fast as we could because we keep repeating the small change in things. So we need to facilitate the sharing of ideas and techniques. Why reinvent the wheel every time? And we need to get away from using your own friends to tell you how good you are. You can't be in an echo chamber. You need to talk to others and get the real honest truth about things that are looking like they're going well. Maybe you need to change your research, or you need to change how your philosophy of solving a problem is. You need to get out of that echo chamber. Many of you probably watched this movie. It did pretty well in the cinemas. History of Robert Oppenheimer. He actually looked like this in the picture. This is the real photo of the group that developed the Manhattan Project, development of the first atomic bomb. The key to this, though, was that these were all successful individuals working on this project that could have had their own careers all the time with all the students they wanted. They were brought together to collaborate, to accelerate, and to solve a common problem. We need to do things like this. And we don't have the outcome that they had, but we do need to start collaborating together to accelerate our research, to accelerate solving our problems. I took that idea from what I'd seen in the different universities, always stepping on each other, never sharing ideas. This concept of big projects, bringing experts together. And I developed this thing called the GeoRA, the Geoscience Research Accelerator Program. We bring master's and PhD students with graduate students from different schools internationally together to work on similar topics. Not the same topics, similar ones. We put them in a neutral site. They're not at a university. We tend to host them at our office. So we have a space, put them together. And we allow them to learn from each other. What software are you using? Is it Python? Is it MATLAB? How are you dealing with cloud source data? Are you using the Google Earth Engine? And we want to get them to get this excitement again, talking amongst each other, doing the collaborative group work. So what we do is we keep the cohort small, 6 to 12 people. We run it in the summer, typically, when the school is usually out. So it's not getting in the way of their teaching, because often they need to have money, they need to survive. And so they're able to come and bring them to one location. We provide a bit of funding as well so that they can afford to eat, live somewhere while they're doing this research. And there are expectations of these groups. They aren't working from home. They have to work in the office. Side by side, they have to be present. They share their ideas, their techniques. They have to come up with what's their favorite paper as part of their own research they've had to read and present it to others. We get them comfortable talking again, talking amongst their peers first, and then talking to other groups of interest ones. This is the picture here at the bottom. We have one of the master's participants, and he's presenting to our company, but it's also online. We're hearing it around the world. They participate in field trips, they attend presentations by others, they learn the benefits of collaboration again. So today what we've had 3 cohorts go through, 2018, 2019, 2024. COVID got in the way, so we had to stop for a bit. It took a little bit of time to get the international applications going again, so next year, we'll be back to international again. And you can see some of the countries we've had people coming from. Either they're from that country or they're at a university. You know, last year we had from Nepal again. They were from Canadian universities, but they're Nepalese. And here's an example of someone that you might be familiar with. Mandeep, right there, was one of our cohort members back in 2019. Sorry, 2018. And they have a good time, they bond, they work together, they live together, they communicate. So once you've got this concept of collaboration going, we need to recognize when's a good opportunity to do it. How do you get there? So how do you see that a good moment? And so I'm actually going to distract for a minute and talk a little bit about a story of a personal friend of mine, Liz Bowman. the colleagues of our earlier keynote speaker down in Canterbury, in Christchurch, New Zealand. Liz is an expert in debris flows. You may have read some of her papers. There's the university. Beautiful campus in New Zealand. But they have seismic faults. They've had catastrophic earthquakes. And they had one in 2010 and then an aftershock, large aftershock in early 2011. And in her mind, she came and we were chatting and she was going, I don't know if I should stay at the university. It's being damaged. The local community has had, homes failed. There have been people killed. They're out of power. I don't think university is going to happen for another 6 months or a year. Maybe I should just leave and return to England, where she's from, and do some studies elsewhere. And I said, look at the silver lining of that cloud. Yes, it's been a disaster. You are now at the epicenter, literally, of this disaster to be able to direct the research. All of these professors, graduate students are going to be coming in from around the world to want to do research. And you will be one of the key players in it. Take it as an opportunity. And she did. She stayed for a few more years. Eventually she did leave. But she didn't leave because of that reason. She looked at the opportunity. So, again, we'll go back and deep. Oh. Can we put it back? Okay. We got Mandeep. Yes, we talked about it today. You have earthquakes, landslides, outburst floods. You have everything happening in Nepal. And Mandeep and I were chatting as well, and a very similar question started to come up from what Liz was talking to me about. And I explained to him that story. And I said, his question really was, how do we have more interest in Nepal? How do we get the society up elevated on the international stage? And I said, look for the silver lining in the disasters you've got. Use the fact that all this research happens as a chance to collaborate. Think about ways that you can do that. And we came up with the idea of GeoMandu. Bring in international participation. Have attendance from multiple sectors: roads, villages, power. Have workshops as training. And most importantly, have Nepal relevant content. Bring that together and you will have a successful conference, which clearly you did in last year. So now how do we do it in the public sector as well? We need to recognize that individual geohazards actually affect multiple sectors. One large landslide will go through roads, railway, power, communities, and disrupt everything. So the sectors should work together to solve the problems. Maybe they're not going to solve the actual consequence issues, the assets that are at risk together. They have to do that independently. But they can solve the triggers. How do we prevent this from occurring again? What do we need to do for monitoring? And so we need to break down those silos. And the first thing of that is sharing of data. I see the problem in Canada. It happens everywhere around the world. Someone gets a bit of data, they hold on to it very tightly because they're going to do research, or maybe they're a company and they want to benefit for their client. But we need to start requiring permits, for example, that says if you're allowed to get a permit to do a drill hole, you can keep the data, but you have to share a copy of it with the region, the municipality, and they're allowed to use it and pass it out. Be open to new strategies as well. Don't think you're the only one who's ever seen some of these problems. Borrow techniques from other sectors. You may have to tweak them a little bit, but you're not unique. So a couple of last little slides here. I want to show an example of the other ways to take advantage. This is Lauren Hutchinson in the audience somewhere. There, you wave. Build long-lasting connections. Bring people in from international, show them what your challenges are, collaborate with them on the research, and then most importantly, use the results of that research. Don't just park it and say thank you and we were happy to have you and things, but use it. And part of using it means you have to actually talk with that person and say, I don't understand this, please explain it, and you build this collaboration continuously. Second example. Praveen? Praveen, are you here? Maybe. No? Okay. If he's not here, Praveen was one of the most recent GRA participants. Studying in Canada, came back to Nepal. Studies aren't finished yet, but share the insight, make those connections. Very important. So, I'll leave you with a last little slide here. Where to next? How do you restart collaboration in academia and in industry? Look for ways to send the people you work with, whether it's you're a professor and you can send your grad students out, or you're in an industry as in one of the sectors, can you send them to a different department? Let them work outside your group for a bit and task them specifically to look for opportunities. What are the similarities in the problems? And what were the novel solutions that they handled? And then the other way, receive people. Be warm. I mean, the Nepalese, from what I've seen so far, your Nepalese society is very warm. But you could always do better. Bring people in. Engage with them. Take the time to talk with those individuals. Don't just say, thank you for joining us, but go sit over there. I don't want to actually work with you. Be open with the things that are just the successes, but also the failures. Tell them you tried this software, you did this approach, and it didn't work. And that way they don't do the same thing again when they go back to their departments. And ask them, have they experienced anything else? Because these are visitors to your department or to your company. How have they seen things get solved elsewhere? If you can do those two things, collaboration will be a success. I'll leave it there.
Thank you, Dr. Alex Baumgart, for your informatory remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness a significant milestone, the MOU signing ceremony for the South Asian Association of Geotechnical Societies, SAG, a collaboration that strengthens geotechnical engineering in South Asia. I would like to invite Dr. Mandeep Subedi, President of Nepal Geotechnical Society, Dr. Anil Joseph, President of Indian Geotechnical Society, Engineer Sohail Kibriya, Vice President of Pakistan Geotechnical Engineering Society. I also invite our esteemed witnesses to join this historic moment, Dr. Mark Balaus, President of ISS MZE, Professor Dr. K. Jian Sao, Vice President Asia of ISS MZE, and Professor Dr. Netra Prakash Bhandari, immediate past President of Nepal Geotechnical Society.
We brought in one concept some 2 years ago that the geotechnical societies in South Asia, just as the same, the one that we have, but it's not functioning, there is SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So we started talking about that in geotechnical societies as well. So we thought of doing that like just for a loose forum, building a loose forum to be a bit stronger and share our knowledge among the national societies in South Asia. So that was the starting point. Now this is the beginning. Beginning in the sense they are signing it, and it will go for a long time that we will collaborate among our national societies in South Asia. So today we have a representative from Pakistan and Indian Geotechnical Society President Dr. Anil Joseph, and our President from Nepal, Dr. Mandeep Subedi, and we already have Sri Lanka, and there are and Bangladesh, and two more are in still in the egg. It may break sometime soon. So Bhutan and Maldives are still in the queue. So we'll build an association of geotechnical societies in South Asia, and that are signing it today. Thank you very much.
So basically, this is an agreement that all these countries will collaborate and be friends. I hope this agreement will go to a higher level, especially between Pakistan and India, and be friends forever. Congratulations, Geotech. You are setting the example.
Moving on, may I now invite Dr. Anil Joseph, President of Indian Geotechnical Society, for his remarks on this conference.
Respected Minister and the other dignitaries on the dais in front and the delegates. I have only 3 words to tell: excellent, excellent, and excellent. Give a big round of applause for the organizers. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I thought I will take a 2 minutes to invite you all to first Geotech Asia in this closing ceremony and India's invitation for first Geotech Asia, and we are going to host from October 7 to 10, 2025 at Goa, and we want to collaborate with all of us together and invite all of you to be part of that. So this is going to happen in Goa in India. It was a Portuguese colony till 1961, now being part of India. So this is Goa for you. Beautiful beaches, do come. And this is where the venue is going to happen, the Taj Sidade in Goa. And this is a bit about IGS. Yeah, and for your information, Dr. Mark Balos and team will be there, the entire board, but Mark will be there. So I know there is a lot of fans for Mark. So do come there, and we can see a beautiful dance of Mark there also. So we have 6,000 members, 55 local chapters, and this is the date of the conference for the young geotechnical engineers from Nepal. The last date was 30th October. I extended to 5th December because I want more people from Nepal Geotechnical Society.
We now come to an exciting part of the ceremony, the Best Poster Presentation Awards. We have prizes for the top 3 best poster presentations, and to announce the winners, I would like to invite Dr. Dhundiraj Pathak, Technical Committee Coordinator of GeoMandu 2024, to the stage. Dr. Pathak, the floor is yours.
It's really a very excited moment to announce the best 3 poster presentation award. Out of 35, more than 35 posters we evaluated, we have a interesting thing is our ISMG President Dr. Mark Values and myself, we have done the independent evaluation, and very interesting thing is the posters are the same, the 3 selected posters are the same, even the order are also the same. Thank you very much, Mark Values, to provide the confidence to declare my final decision on behalf of Technical Committee Coordinator of the GeoMandu 2024, and some of the experts, like Senior Geotechnical and Earthquake Engineer, Dr. Naren Marasini, and some young engineer also supported me to validate our decision. And thank you very much for your support. Without any further delay, I'm not going to talk about how we evaluated. Mark will talk shortly. The evaluation was done on our basis, but we are not only done because of the content of research, what you done or what you presented, but the major things is what you presented and what was the visualization of your posters. You all of you know the posters speaks the thousands of words and understandable to the millions of people without any description. That's why this is our one of the major criteria to decide, and other things will be described by the Mark. Without further delay, I will announce the a 3rd place poster awardees. The title of the poster is the Enhancing Slope Stability in Wall Dome Sites Using Berms with Plexix 3D Modeling by Sudipta Malakar et al. Please come in, guys. Please stand here. Stand here. I called all the 3 receivers and then. Okay, and the 2nd place is presented to Khemraj Pokhrel and et al. From Nepal, and the title of the poster is Soil Structure Interaction Effects in Foundation. Finally, the first one goes to, the title is Combined Pile Raft Foundation on the Soft Ground Improved prefabricated vertical drains to the Sweta Sagole atoll. Sweta Sagole. She's from India. She's not here. No. Okay, I think unfortunately she's not here. Now I would invite to Dr. Mark Velu and our convener, NGS President, Dr. Mandeep Savedi, to provide the prize and certificate with some comments how they evaluated by the mark. This is the first one is not here. Is the third place. Third. First. Okay. Sweta Sagal, you see the first author and the Dr. Prasad Dahale. Anyone from the paper is here? This is from India.
Maybe Anil can take the.
Maybe I think the remark will decide. Will keep will.
Yes.
Oh, Nelima, yeah, Professor Nelima. Thank you very much.
On her behalf.
Will be the first to go to Sweta. Will be in center. So the photograph will be in center. Okay. The second one, Cambridge Pockrell. Thank you very much. The third one, Sudipta Malaka. Okay.
I like to say a few comments about the posters. Usually in conferences, people call, please take my paper as publication in the proceedings. I don't want to poster. But for me, I don't have time to read the papers. I like the posters. For this, I took my time in evaluating, and they're all great posters, all of them. But also they had common mistakes that I like to tell you about. For next